Are you someone who struggles to get that 360 breath in, that you're somebody who's more of a shallow breather, that when you take that deep inhale, those shoulders are constantly coming up into the ears? What is likely contributing to that is the fact that those ribs are very stiff, okay? Your ribs have joints, which a lot of people don't realize. There are joints that connect to the sternum in the front and joints that connect around the back to the vertebra, to the spine. And those joints, just like any other joint in our body, is meant to move, and it is a use it or lose it situation. So the more we're in this hunched forward position all the time, from being very sedentary, those ribs start to stiffen up, and it also contributes to that more forward posture as well. So we need to mobilize the ribs. A great way to do that is foam rolling and fascia release. So really kind of finding where you have that stiff rib and taking time and to kind of to roll it out is super helpful. So what I always recommend for people before you begin the foam rolling is take, 5 to 10 deep breaths and pay attention to where you're feeling it. At the beginning, are you feeling it way, in the shoulders and neck? Then, take that mental note and then try it after doing this foam rolling exercise I'm going to show you. So we're going to start with the back of the ribs, okay? You're going to come and lay back so that, the back of the ribs are making contact with the foam roller. You're going to interlace your fingers to support the head and make sure the head is being more centered on the spine and not leading with the chin. So we want to focus on that nice posture and protecting our neck. And you're going to lift those hips off the mat, all right? And you're just going to roll forward and back, trying to get all the way to the bottom of the ribs, all right? Nice and easy. Now, you're going to, depending on the material your foam roller is made out of, it's going to be more intense. So if you're brand new to foam rolling, get one of the softer ones. This is a softer foam roller. They're cheaper that way too. And then as you kind of regularly foam roll, it's great to progress into the harder foam roller. So you're just going to roll up and down those ribs. Now, as the foam roller comes lower, you really have to pay attention that you're controlling the abdominal pressure here. You don't want the belly to be pooching out, and you don't want to go so low that you're under the lumbar and you're arching your back. This should not hurt your back. It should be, you should feel like that pressure, the releasing, like it might be uncomfortable when you're rolling over the ribs because they're tight. And if you find particular spots that are tight and are like tender, hold there for a second. We need to release that before you move on to the next one. So pay attention to those tender spots, give them a little more attention, and be very careful as that foam roller comes down, you don't lose connection and you go into this huge arch. So you really have to focus on strong abdominals here, and start with a smaller range of motion if you're working on that abdominal strength, or if you're newly postpartum, because we don't want too much abdominal pressure, coming out and pushing into a possible diastasis or anything like that, or if you have any pelvic floor stuff going on. So, start small, all right? And it feels really nice. I do this multiple times a day, okay? So that's focusing on the back of the ribs. Spend at least 30 seconds rolling forward and back, again, focusing on those tender spots, and then the side ribs. Now, you're probably going to notice the side ribs are a little more tender than the back. I guess it depends. I foam roller on my back quite a lot, and I try to at least every day on my side too, but I don't always get to it. So you're just going to bring your side ribs onto the foam roller, and you can control how much pressure you have into it. So obviously you have this other arm here that can help support, but you need to be able to put a good amount of weight in it to be able to get that rib released. So again, it might be a little uncomfortable, but that probably tells you you really need it. So don't be afraid to put a little pressure. I mean, don't put so much that you're so tense that it's hurts that you're tensing everything, because that's kind of, causing more issues. So we want that balance of like, ooh, that's uncomfortable, but I can pretty well relax while it's going on. And then, if you've gotten to a point where you've foam rolled out those ribs a little bit, you can just bring that arm in front and kind of hold it, and then move up and down, where the ribs are. So you need to get the ones right under that armpit a little bit too. And again, if you find a spot that's particularly tender, hang out there for a minute or two, or for, I shouldn't say a minute or two, but like 10 seconds until you start to feel that tenderness release. And again, Make sure you do the other side. Come back up, try that deep breathing, and notice if all of a sudden you feel you can get more of that expansion into those ribs. It's really kind of amazing. I do this often with new clients, practice once and then foam roll and again, and it makes a big difference. So go ahead, give it a try, and let me know how it goes.